AITA for asking my mom not to talk about her family directly to me.
Hi Reddit, this is my first post, so bear with me.
I'll try to keep this short, but there are a lot of details.
I, female 20, have been contemplating if I'm the asshole for the past maybe for years.
I didn't have the best childhood, to say the least. My parents tried their best, and they are two of the most generous people I've ever met, but as with all people, they have their shortcomings.
From the age of about 9 to the time I turned 16, I suffered through what I've always called bullying.
Looking back now and talking through it with many therapists, I now recognize it's more consistent with verbal and physical abuse.
For lack of a better word, the perpetrators were two of my cousins.
Fake names.
John was about 6 months older than me and Sarah was just over a year older than me.
At the time this began, it was simply name-calling, but by the time I turned 10, it had escalated to full-fledged violence.
Trigger warning.
Just to show the extent of their torment, it would say things like, "Go kill yourself, you're fat and ugly, your family hates you, you're a terrible person, I don't even want to look at you."
Some things they would do are slapping me, scratching me, kicking me. They would chase me around with dead grasshoppers and rub them on my face, etc.
The adults in this situation, grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, and older cousins knew what was going on.
I came to them several times.
I would address my own injuries, and their actions would be brushed off.
For several years, I went through this torture to 4 times a month.
Eventually, I stopped telling the adults and I essentially became a shell of the person I was.
After many failed attempts to end my life, I went to 2 different psychiatric facilities.
My parents finally recognized the abuse when I was 16, and they stopped forcing me to go to my grandparents. Still got the guilt trips though.
Long story short, John and Sarah have been put on a pedestal on my mom's side of the family.
They are my grandma's very obvious favorites, which sounds cliche, but she has pictures of them all over her house, brags about them constantly, goes to all of their events, etc.
My mom also tends to talk about them a lot. "Oh look, Sarah did this, oh John got a new girlfriend," etc.
I've asked her on several occasions not to talk about them to me, and she just shrugs it off.
I don't mind her talking about them to others while I'm in the room, but showing me pictures of the people who traumatized me to show me how well they are doing feels very disrespectful.
So am I the asshole for repeatedly telling my mom not to talk about her side of the family with me?
To add, my mom knows the extent of what they've done, seen the markings they left on me, sat in the with me while I was being admitted, discussed it with me in family therapy, etc. I've suffered from mental health issues since I was 12.
Anxiety, depression, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, and I am in the process of being diagnosed with bipolar disorder.